Hey guys, what's up? Gonna do an in the bag for you guys. Not sure if this is exactly what I want my bag to be like, but I think I'm pretty happy with where it's at right now. I know I keep taking stuff out and put stuff in each time I go to the course, but for the most part I have pretty much everything I want in here. So anyways, let's get started. I use a grip bag. Voila. Yeah, pretty happy with it. It's expensive, but it's worth it, I think. Dynamic's coming out with some new bags. I think I'm going to switch when those come out. Anyways, so now to my bag. Alright, so I throw the Judge for my putting. Max weight on my putters just because I want the most consistency possible. I don't want any fluctuation, and I just feel like the heavier weights in putters is more consistent. That goes for any disc really, but putting's really important. The Judge, this thing is great for spin putters in my opinion, not so much for push putters, but you can make anything work honestly. So definitely recommend the Judge. It's really straight. It surprised me. I thought it was going to be a little more stable. It's got a really nice bead on it, which fits really comfortably in your hand, so it makes it really easy to putt with. And it holds straight without a lot of effort. So yeah, so for spin putters, it's further away you are, this thing just goes straight for a while. So it's really easy. I stopped having to jump putt with this putter until outside of about 50 feet now, when I would jump putt about 40 feet. So it gave me a little bit less effort to putt from further distances. And also upshots, this thing's great for straight to Anheuser. Upshots, really good for that. Kind of reminds me of a magnet, but it doesn't feel anything like a magnet, so that's why I really like it. Anyways, enough about that. I also throw, for putters, the Mercy Strawberry. Really nice plastic. I guess this is the Zero line. It's really grippy, but not too grippy. Yeah, and it's surprisingly stable. I thought this thing was going to be kind of straight to flippy, and it's straight stable, kind of even slightly overstable, up here at my elevation anyways. You have to keep that in mind with all my discs I'm reviewing. I'm at about 5,400 feet in elevation, so everything's a little more stable than most people are used to. So yeah, but anyways, this is a really good upshot disc. I use it for my upshots. And yeah, those are the only putters I carry. I have 2 Judges and 1 Mercy. Then mid-ranges, I throw the Fuse. This one is 177 grams. I prefer my mid-ranges fairly heavy. Again, I like consistency. This thing's great for slower straight shots too. If you're going to throw more power, definitely goes Anheuser. Great turn. Really consistent for an Anheuser disc. Yeah, I really like this disc. I only have one of them in my bag because I don't really see the point of having another one, honestly, and I don't really have room for anything else. I have my bag crammed right now. So yeah, that's the Fuse. Then I have the Fugitive, which, please Lord tell me I didn't lose my other one, which I think I may have left it out on the course. That sucks. Alright, well, I think I just lost the Fugitive, which, that sounds really stupid. Alright, anyways, this is one of them. This is the Lucid plastic. I dyed it, obviously. I don't know if you can tell very well. It has, from Zoolander, blue steel. This disc is really straight flying. A little stable, not much up here in Colorado, but if there's any wind, it does get a little touchy. So that's the only problem I have with this disc, but then I just upgrade to a more stable disc. This one's 178 grams. Again, I like the heavier weights for mid-ranges. And I did have a Biofusion one in my bag, and I think I left it out on the course, which sucks, because that thing's fantastic. It's a little more stable than the Lucid plastic, so I like it a little more for little slight hyzer shots. Or just if I really want to kind of crush on a mid-range shot. to go straight. That's a pretty good disc to go with, so I cannot believe I left that out there. Oh my god. Anyways, well, I got more of them, so. And my other mid-range is the Pain. I got it in both the, sorry, it takes me a second to think, what is it? Oh god. And the Gold Line plastic Pain. This thing is, kind of reminds me of my Wasps, my TI Wasps. It's pretty consistently stable, slightly overstable. I like it. I think it's pretty controllable. I would like something a little more stable, but yeah, it's still a great disc. I mean, I can trust this thing. I can trust it in the wind too. I mean, you can't crank on it into a heavy wind, but you can trust it pretty well in most winds. It's a pretty good disc. And then my other one, a little die, another die I did. This is the Opto plastic, obviously, and this one's a little more stable, and hence why I have it. It's the most stable mid-range in my bag. I wish there was something a little more stable, but it sounds like Dynamic's coming out with a disc soon, so look forward to that. That'll be nice. Again, these are max weights, pretty much 176. And that's it for my mid-ranges, and I'm going really slow. All right, let's go to drivers. I got a lot. Holy crap. This is gonna take a while. How did you guys make your videos so fast? I talk too much. Alright. Vision. I actually really like this disc. I'm surprised I don't see more people with this in their bag. Maybe it's because of my elevation. I don't know. This thing is flippy, but it is controllably flippy. I like it a lot. It's really nice for fairway drives. I mean, down tunnels. We don't have a lot of trees out here, but if I need to throw something smooth or just not as so, but take some speed off and still get to go straight, this thing is fantastic for that. So, and this is 174, probably kind of close to max weight again. My drivers, I vary a little bit more in my weights, but I still tend to go max weight most everything. Like I said, I just like that consistency. Yeah, it's a great disc. Vision. More people should try that thing out. Next we'll do strikers. I really like the striker. It reminds me of my stalker. I mean, the disc itself doesn't quite remind me of the stalker, the way it feels, because it doesn't have a bead on it, but it doesn't really go any further than a stalker would. It looks and feels like it would because it doesn't have that bead, but it doesn't stay in the air as long as a stalker, but it's a little faster. So in the end, it doesn't really go any further. So this thing's perfect if I need to go straight. This one anyways, this one's kind of straight, it's a little flippy. And it's 176 also, so obviously the weight doesn't always make it more stable. Yeah, this thing's straight flippy, but controllable, very controllable. So more controllable than my Vision. So if I need to step up a little bit, upgrade a little bit, this is the perfect disc to go to. A little more distance than, like, if I need to throw an extra 50 feet on a shot further than my Fugitive, this is a good disc for it. And then I also have the Gold Line. This thing is really stable. I heard that the strikers are really inconsistent in the mold, which I have found to be pretty true. So this is a 173, 3 grams lighter than my other one, and it's in Gold Line, which is supposedly flippier than the Opto. Not true. This thing is stable, and I really like it. Just for that consistent, overstable mid-range, kind of tweener mid-range driver shot, you know, this is perfect. Sorry, my camera died. So, anyways, so next I have the Saint, which I just tossed in today, so I couldn't really tell you a lot about it, but from what I noticed, that it's a really, really consistent, trustworthy disc that is perfect if I need to throw a little further than the striker, and a little more consistent stability, with really good glide. The Saint is really good. I carry it in both the Opto, this one's actually Sparkle Opto, which I've heard can be more stable, I think. I don't know. It's more stable than my Gold Line. but that's pretty normal for Opto and Gold Line. So, but it's not a whole lot more stable. It's not like ridiculously more stable. It's just a little more stable. But yeah, good if it's a little windy out and I want to hold just a really straight line that I can trust and still get a decent amount of distance on it. That's what I feel like the Saint is going to be really good for. So yeah, it's just kind of like a tweener disc, a tweener fairway disc, like yeah, in between a fairway and a driver. And then this is kind of what I feel like I would be using as a Saint. Let's see, I got the Escape, which I feel like is pretty similar to the Saint. This one's in Lucid plastic, 173 in the weight. Just super straight. I think that's the little bit of difference between this and the Saint is that it seems like it holds straight and doesn't finish. It holds straight a little longer and doesn't fade as quick as the Saint does. Or I should say as hard, not so much as quick. Not a lot of difference, but definitely a little bit. This thing is my longer, super straight, consistent disc. I put it in my bag right when I got it, my DD stuff, and I just don't think I can take it out. I just really like it. I really trust it. I know this disc really well. So yeah, it's really, really trustworthy. I also throw the Trident Opto. This one is 173 in weight, and I really like this disc. You can't overthrow it really because it doesn't have a ton of glide and it doesn't have a lot of speed. I mean, it's kind of hard to say. It just doesn't go as far as you think it would, which is really useful. So you can throw it really hard and just trust it to kind of drop down at no more than like 375 really. If you look, for those of you who don't really know the Trident, the edge, I don't know if you can see it, is really blunt, so it loses a lot of speed while it's flying. And yeah, it's just really useful. I mainly use it for my sidearms, and it's stable, controllable stable to overstable. It's not super stable though. It still does get a little bit of glide, and yeah, it's just really, really good hyzer disc if you want to make sure you don't throw it too far, or a nice little sidearm disc. Kind of reminds me of my Predators in a way. So that'd be the best comparison, I think. Let's do the Trespass. I got it in Lucid. It's nice cherry red. 170. Whoa, 168. I didn't even realize this was that light. Well, obviously it doesn't matter because I really like the way it flies. This thing is just consistently straight, long driver. It's a speed 12, which I feel like isn't accurate, and neither is the glide, because the glide says 5, and I feel like both of those are at least off by 1. This thing goes further than the numbers make it sound like it'll go. I'm really surprised how far these things go, and they are super consistent. I mean, up here in Colorado, more stable, everything is. So these fly very consistent, straight, stable for me. Like, I can throw them flat and they just hold flat and then hyzer off. If I throw a little bit anhyzer on them, it'll hold the anhyzer just a little bit and then hyzer off at the end. But they will hold a line so well, but you can still trust it to come back. So it's really nice. I also have it in the Fusion plastic. This one's a little heavier, 174. Not much difference in flight, honestly. I just really like the way this one feels. My little no trespassing sign. Kind of weird sign, but it's kind of cool. I really like the way this one feels. I feel like it has a little more glide than the other one. People say that these remind them of destroyers. I haven't really gotten to play with destroyers much, but I always really liked the feel of a destroyer, and just felt like that was the one disc I really wish I could throw, and I really do like this disc, and I would say it sounds like a fair comparison, honestly. So, really good disc, honestly, great disc. Trying to blast through these, sorry, I got so many discs in my bag. This is so indecisive. I got XXX, meat hook, super stable. Don't need to really talk about this one much. It is just stupid stable, but it's fantastic. If it's windy or you just need that shot, that big hyzer that drops off around 300 feet, if not less. You know, it's just great utility disc, really. For stable, I also throw a Villain. I have it in Gold Line. This is 174. I believe my Triple X was 174 as well, for those of you who care. And my Villain is also in Opto. I really like the stamp too of these. They should do more of these. It's really cool. But anyways, so the Gold Line, consistent stability, overstability. Anyways, this thing's overstable, but it's got glide to it still. This one, not so much glide. This is just another one of those discs that's great for if it's windy out or if you just need to make sure your disc goes left, and this thing's fast too. So this one I use for nice big hyzers around, definitely no more than 400, but maybe up to 400. I'm not exactly sure yet. This thing, no way. 350 maybe. So stable. So it's more for just if it's windy or it's just that perfect hyzer shot that you want to make sure it just hyzers. This is perfect for that too. And this one's also 174. And my main driver is the Halo that I use for my distance shots. I think this thing is so controllable and consistent. I love it. It goes so far. I guess I could show you the disc. I have a few of these. I throw it in Gold Line. Just 175, Gold Line, super consistent, goes super far. You can trust this thing. It'll S just a little bit. If you crush it, this is like no wind. If you crush it, you can get a decent S out of it. And if it's windy, still pretty controllable. Usually if it's windy, I'll upgrade. It depends on how windy. I'll upgrade to the Opto, and that's this one. And this thing's definitely a little more stable. I like my big drivers, my distance drivers, to have a pop top. I just really like that, and it usually helps on the stability a lot of the times too. So, but that Gold Line one is my go-to for sure for distance. But yeah, this one's if I need that consistency and a little more stability, maybe if it's windy, or if I want to throw a really big hyzer, perfect disc. And then I also throw another Opto Halo. This one is about the same stability but flatter than my other Opto one, which makes it perfect for my sidearms. I really like throwing sidearms as well. It's a really useful shot to have. So I just tossed this one in today actually. It just felt perfect. I knew it was going to be a disc that was going to stay in my bag, and it definitely is. I'm getting some good distance on this consistency too, and I can throw it pretty far, about 400. That's pushing it though for me, really. But you definitely can get this thing over 400 if you throw sidearms consistently as your main shot. Perfect for me for 350 to 400. Yeah, and I also throw the Opto Air. Like I said, this is more just for fun, but I really think that I would use this in a tournament if it was a tailwind or no wind on a big open air fairway, no trees or not many trees. I really would want to use this because this thing just goes so far, especially with the tailwind. It's a 158, but yeah, this thing is pretty awesome. It's really fun to throw. I really enjoy it, and it's super controllable. I cannot believe how awesome these are. So it's still stable. It's definitely not as stable as the other ones, but it's pretty darn stable for being a 158. So yeah, I highly suggest these to players who don't have as much arm speed, but you still have to have some arm speed because these things are still kind of stable. So, but definitely try these out regardless of your level of play. They are awesome. So yeah, that is my whole bag. I hope that was useful, helpful to some of you guys. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. And if you have any tips, feel free to inform me on anything you think that might help me out. I obviously still have some overlapping stuff right now, but it all fits in my bag, so it's gonna stay in the bag for now until I start seeing like I don't really need that. So Since all of them fit, they're going to stay. And I'm definitely going to take some stuff out, though, as new discs keep on coming out, because I definitely need to get something to replace my zone, or like a gator, kind of somewhere in that area would be awesome, and I think the bag will be set. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching.